What if I told you that the life you dream of, the one that seems so far away, could actually be closer than you think? That it's not the big changes that make the difference, but the small choices you repeat every day. How would it feel to transform your life from the inside out with just a simple change in perspective? How many times have you found yourself waiting for the perfect moment to act? Maybe waiting for the right motivation or ideal circumstances. But what if I told you that moment is never going to come unless you start now? Not with a huge leap, but with small actions that, repeated day after day, shape your future. Think of a river. The waters flow, but it's the riverbed that gives direction, keeping the flow in order. That's what discipline is in our lives. It's not a restriction, but the channel that allows our passions and desires to flow with purpose. Without it, the energy dissipates, and what seemed like great potential ends up getting lost. How many times have you started something new, full of enthusiasm, only to lose momentum? A promising project, a brilliant idea. But without the structure of small daily habits to sustain that enthusiasm, everything fades. It wasn't a lack of talent or willpower, but a lack of a clear path to follow. Discipline is the riverbed that guides the flow of your passions. Without it, your energy spreads out and weakens. And it's in those small habits that the power of transformation lies. It's not about big, sporadic efforts, but consistency. It's in the nearly invisible daily decisions that we shape our future. When you bring discipline into your days, you not only move forward, but also build a solid foundation for success. That foundation doesn't waver with the winds of emotion or circumstance because it's stable, constant, like the bed of a river. That's how discipline turns dreams into reality. Now think about how many dreams have been left behind due to a lack of consistency. Passion by itself is like an intense flame, but without discipline, it can't create anything lasting. Passion is the initial fuel, but without the consistency of small habits, it burns out quickly. How many dreams have been abandoned for lack of a plan? How many times have you started something full of passion, only to run out of steam halfway through? Maybe you felt this. An idea comes to mind. You feel inspired, full of energy to change everything. But as the days pass, the intensity fades, challenges arise, and that project that seemed so promising gets put aside. This doesn't happen because of a lack of talent or passion, but because there's no structure to sustain the initial enthusiasm. Passion is the spark that ignites the engine, but discipline is the fuel that keeps it running. Without it, we become slaves to our emotions. One day we're motivated, the next we stop. But with discipline, we push forward, even when we don't feel like it, even when it seems tough. It's that consistency that turns a simple idea into something concrete. What if all you needed to turn your ideas into reality was consistency? How much further would you be today if you had stayed disciplined, even on the hard days? Discipline is what makes passion tangible, what turns that brilliant idea into something real. It's what keeps us going even when the excitement fades, because we know that each small step, repeated with discipline, brings us closer to our goal. That's the real strength that sustains any passion. Discipline isn't just a practical tool for achieving your dreams. It can be seen as a spiritual practice, a way to connect with your deeper purpose. Every disciplined act is a way of showing respect for your own growth. Imagine if every disciplined action were a way to honor your life's purpose. What if you could turn every habit into an act of caring for your soul? When you commit to a disciplined routine, you create a sacred space for your personal and spiritual growth. Think about daily practices like meditation, yoga, or even writing. They aren't just habits. They are rituals that connect you to what matters most. Every small step, every act of discipline is a way of showing that you are committed to your journey. Just like in many spiritual traditions, where discipline is central, these small practices keep us aligned with our greater purpose. Discipline becomes a form of self-care, where, by following a disciplined path, you're creating space for your body, mind, and spirit to align. So, ask yourself, what can you turn into a sacred ritual in your daily life? How can you integrate discipline as a practice of caring for your soul? Discipline is one of the purest expressions of self-love. When you choose to act with discipline, you are choosing to prioritize yourself and your dreams. Each repeated action is proof of how much you value your journey. If you truly cared about your future, what would you be doing today? Loving yourself means doing what's necessary, even when it's not easy. We often confuse self-love with short-term indulgence, but true self-love is in the daily choice to commit to what's important to you. And discipline is the greatest act of respect for your future. At its core, discipline is you telling yourself, I believe in my potential. I'm investing in myself. It's the foundation for building a purposeful and fulfilling life. Every disciplined step, even on hard days, is a message that you're willing to fight for what matters. What about you? Are you taking care of yourself enough to give your dreams the attention they deserve? By adopting discipline, you are nurturing your self-esteem in a deep way. Each small victory, each repeated action reinforces your commitment to yourself. Now think about tough times. We all face challenges that make us question if it's worth continuing. It's during those moments that discipline becomes the most valuable. It's the strength that keeps us grounded, even when everything seems to be against us. The biggest changes don't happen when everything is easy. It's the hardest moments that define who's truly committed. When fatigue and frustration set in, many people give up. But those who understand the value of discipline know that success doesn't come from inspiration or an obstacle-free path. It comes from the ability to keep going, even when it's hardest. What about you? What do you do when exhaustion hits? Do you keep going or stop? How do you handle the days when progress seems invisible? Discipline on hard days is what separates those who are truly committed from those who give up. Even when results seem distant, it's consistency that ensures you're always getting closer to your goal. When applied consistently and purposefully, discipline has the power to transform every aspect of your life. It's not just a tool to achieve goals, it's a path to personal, spiritual, and emotional growth. Every small, disciplined act builds a future more aligned with who you truly are. In the end, it's discipline that brings true freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you want in the moment, but the freedom to live the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, intuition may show you the way, but it's discipline that keeps you on track. This combination is powerful, and if you want to dive even deeper into how intuition and discipline complement each other, check out the previous video, Intuition plus Discipline, the formula for prosperity. It will help you further on this journey. When you combine these two pillars, intuition and discipline, you find the true formula for prosperity. If this message resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Your journey could be the inspiration someone else needs.